Fun fact before we actually get into this video, this will be spoiler heavy for the Whispers of the Wall quest, so if you haven't done that, I will try my best not to spoil too much. But we already know you get this within the Whispers in the Walls quest, and you don't have to build it, you just kind of find it sitting somewhere. I do honestly kind of like the look of the two skins for it, though you'll never really notice them that much. I think this one will be noticeable a lot more. You can technically buy a blueprint for this and build it if you do accidentally sell it, and I kind of expected it to cost a lot more than it actually does to build it, so you could build a second one if you wanted to. And don't let this level 24 fool you. I have formatted this thing 5 times. The only thing I cannot figure out what to do is how to put the other tome mod in here. Because multi-shot with multi-shot works pretty well. Fire rate would probably go better. I have an elemental combo down here just as because I can. With the crit mods to the side, with Primed Target Cracker and Primed Pistol Gambit, and obviously Hornet Strike, Aura Pack to complete damage. Ooh, it needs an extra mod slot. The tome mods are actually quite interesting. The Canticle mods, best way to put it, is they basically have lots of different abilities to them. I kind of like the reduce the armor and shields of enemies within range, but the range was kind of horrible, so went with the Loke that grants fire rate. Range plus 30% fire rate for 15 seconds when you kill an enemy, which is great because increasing the fire rate of this does in fact increase the damage it can do. We'll get onto that in a second. But you can also not just have the Canticle, you can also install an invocation mod, and these are all alternate fire based. Best way to put it, Zarta, energy regen. Nortra, ability efficiency. Riz is ability duration, and Vom is ability strength. I'm not using them because I'm still kind of playing with multi-shot at the moment and trying to increase fire rate in interesting ways. Oops, I kind of left them with the ability to shoot back. Oh well, not a problem, these are all level 20s anyway, so this is basically going to one-shot them when I actually hit them. Because this thing actually turned out to be quite powerful, but the party piece simply has to be this. The secondary fire mode of this is very, very interesting. But it's getting the fire rate of this down because it is basically full auto. Oops, you just accidentally fell over. Because holding the fire rate, just attack speed, yeah, you can see this level 200 in front of me is no longer there. The level 200 that was behind, that got a few hits as the rest of it was kind of happening. They are going down, but not that quickly. They could go down just a little bit quicker. Like that, for example. Or, of course, I could just be very, very cheesy and just give it one of these. Without your armor, you're all screwed. Every one of you. Be gone. Because once armor is gone, this is where corrosive on this would probably have been better rather than viral, but still doesn't change the fact that they were 19 level 200 heavily armored Grimoire, and now they are health orbs and ammo, and oh, I guess Thanos is around somewhere. I do honestly love the look of this weapon when you can actually see it, but you can only usually see the pages in it, but give it a higher attack speed and this thing actually becomes quite crazy quite quickly. So choice of frame is very important. Also, I'm taking out all of the enemies and I'm looking at the one at the end. And that is quite literally there, this entire row of enemies. Hey, who says you could survive? I love that. It is great fun. One thing I will note though, because I have viral instead of corrosive, it does look like it's doing a lot less damage. Don't let that fool you. This thing can pretty much tear through a lot of enemies. I'm glad they didn't make 4 of these things, 1 per element. because that would have been massive overkill. But just the fact that it can do that to a level 200 is amazing. Not to mention the fact that in theory the fire rate buff we had kind of wore off. That is a menacing attack speed. That just makes it so much better. And the best way I can put it is that alternate attack. It puts it as it's a voltaic orb that guarantees electrical status. Basically meaning, more than anything else, what you have is a stun gun. But when you combine this secondary attack to stun enemies and then use this with a frame that can armor strip, the viral's on there for that exact reason. I strip the armor and then viral half the health. Works wonders. Most of the time. Sometimes. I haven't had a problem with it so far. It is also one of the main reasons I kind of still use Frost for pretty much everything. But it's so much... I, first-hand use of this, thought it was a pile of utter garbage. I was very disappointed in Digital Extreme's new weapon type, the Grimoire. Mastery rank 10 to be able to get this. You can build a second one for whatever reason that's for. It's obviously in case you accidentally sell yours. You get it maxed. Just max rank straight away, which I thought, that's a little bit suspicious. Why is that max rank as soon as you get it? I don't know if it was supposed to be or not, but I'm assuming it's to allow you to put mods and stuff in. But damn, just use that secondary mode to stun the enemies. High attack speed, and this thing will tear through most things you throw it at. Kind of wish it did more status though. The tome mods, of course, dropping from the Mirror Defense. Would highly recommend starting it from the star chart if you are going to go farm them here, because apparently they are a nightmare to get to drop. But more importantly, I'm also covering the spoiler here before anybody gets mad, and it's a slightly easier mission when launched from the star chart because lower level. As you can see, every single one of these is from the new node that you can't get to until after you have completed the Whispers in the Wall quest. But even if those mods are slightly annoying to get a hold of, it's worth it, because they work really well with this. It does a nice amount of damage. I wish it did more, because of how endgame this weapon is meant to be. So it is still a letdown, but also it's their first attempt at this. There may be another one that might come later on. He might have more than one Grimoire. He might have wrote another one after he left, and we may get another one at the end of next year, 2024, when Warframe 1999 comes along. Here's hoping they learn their lesson from this, and the next one, it needs to be twice as strong in pretty much every aspect of this thing to make it, I hate using this words, end game level weaponry. It is not that. I think the bow from the new war, still better than this. But with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.